Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about what is Node.js, one of the important topics if you're aspiring to be a JavaScript developer or a backend engineer. Before trying to understand what Node.js is, let's try to understand what Node.js is not. Node.js is not a programming language. It is not a backend library as some of the developers believe, and it is not a library. Okay, so now that we understood what Node.js is not, let's try to uncover what is not. From the official website of Node, what is Node? Node is a JavaScript runtime. Okay, hold on. What does this term runtime mean? Let's try to uncover that first before understanding what Node is exactly. Okay, let's come up with an analogy. Let's say you're working in an MNC construction site and unfortunately you have an angry short-tempered manager, and let's say you have opened a new site in France, and now that you have a construction site set up there and your short-tempered manager comes to the day once and he wants to meet with the site manager. He did not find anybody. He goes to the French laborer and he is shouting at him to call the site manager. The French worker is continuing his work, not understanding what the site manager is trying to say, and hence he is not taking any action. So, now what's the problem here? The problem is the worker is capable of his jobs, and if any instructions given to him in the language of French, he'll be able to execute it. And what's the problem here? The angry manager will able to communicate only in English. So what's the solution here? Solution is a good employee like you coming in between, trying to soothe down your angry manager and try to explain the situation and try to be a good translator for him. That would be the solution, right? So this exactly is what the runtime is trying to do. So your operating system understands only your machine code, be it any language that runs on your computer, any application written in any programming language. Your operating system at the end of the day understands only machine code. Now our code written in JavaScript language will not be directly understood by the machine code. So what we need is a good translator. And who does that? The runtime. So what is the primary job of a runtime? Is to translate your JavaScript code into machine code. That's the primary job of a runtime. Okay, now that we have an understanding of what a runtime is, so what is Node? Node is a JavaScript runtime. It translates your JavaScript code into machine code. It's primarily a translator. Okay, so now what did Node achieve? So traditionally, we know JavaScript has been primarily used in browsers and front-end code, right? So to break this and to use JavaScript everywhere outside of front-end and outside of browser, what happened is Node opened those gates. Browsers had their own runtimes and JavaScript engines to run JavaScript code. Now that Node is a runtime on its own, what happened is Node provided this magic. Now that we don't need browsers to run JavaScript code, you just write JavaScript code anywhere and then you have Node installed, and your Node will be able to run your JavaScript code into sending information to the OS in the language that it understands. So that's the primary achievement of Node. Okay, now comes the next question. Is Node just the translator? What is it exactly doing? Is it just translating your JavaScript code into machine code? The answer to that is no, it's not just a translator. So, Node, if you see the components inside Node, if you take a look at it, one of the major components of Node is this V8. What is this? This is a JavaScript engine which is present inside Node. So this is built by Google. So this is one of the fastest JavaScript engines out there. So this guy takes the primary action of converting your JavaScript code into machine code. But Node is more than just this translating. Node has other components like Node APIs. It provides few APIs for us to consume. It also has some bindings, and it has this cool, input output library, which we'll discuss in another video. So it has a lot of other things as well. It can perform not just this translating part, it can do much more than that. Okay, so the key takeaways from this video are: Node is a runtime. What is it? It's a translator. It helps your operating system understand JavaScript. The primary importance of Node comes in where it takes the browser dependency and makes JavaScript run anywhere, everywhere. That's the primary advantage of using Node. And this helps Node being a favorite tool in backend development. Why? In backend, we don't need browsers, and Node comes to the rescue. You just write your code in JavaScript, and then you have a Node installed in your machine. It will take care of the rest.